morning.
Shana, what in the world is this?
I don't know, we went to a restaurant last night and they had this roll of butcher paper.
It's huge.
And we're like, what is this? And they put it on their tables, but it's like topography of the mountains.
I'm going to put it down.
It's pretty cool.
And makes some
Yeah,
noise.
it does. But it was cool. So Mike asked for the lady asked if he wanted to take a piece home. She was like, gave it to him.
Yeah, so that was at Ted's, Ted Turner's Bison Grill. So we were there and we had a nice time. We sat outside. It was gorgeous weather last night.
Oh my gosh.
And
yes.
it was just one of those interesting things. So I wanted to share that with you, that we got some cool butcher paper. And sometimes it's about being a little bit different, you know? And that's going to be one of our topics today. So we're going to talk through some of our topics with you guys and give you that during our rundown. And we're going to start today with topic number 1 is going to be about privacy as it relates to our 3D tours. And not just ours, but in general. So I just want to show some different issues. We're working through what our policies are and any amendments to that we might be making. So we'll show you guys some of that as it relates to 3D tours.
Yep.
And then we have Ain't Yo Mama's Technology. That was Shauna's words that she wanted to use for this. So we're going to share with you how we do things a little bit different as a brokerage and how it relates to you, and maybe some success stories that we've recently had thanks to an agent that shared some stuff with me. So
Yesterday.
yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed hearing that. And then we have story time with Shauna if we get there. Don't know how much time we're going to use. Sometimes we start talking too long. So we'll see if we get to story time with Shauna. And by we, I guess I mean...
Okay.
And then, I don't even know if we're going to do word of the day today. Who knows? Maybe we'll just skip that.
It's Friday. But we do have Show Me Your Listings immediately following TNT. So you guys can hop on Zoom meeting with Shauna and we'll share some listings together.
So we will go over that. Thank you guys for joining us today. It's always an honor to get to see you guys and work with you.
I can't really see you, but
No, but I feel I can.
I feel like you're there. Your presence is felt.
It really is. So it's Friday, and
All right, yay.
it's time to go.
Okay, ready?
Get us to the first topic, Shauna.
Oh, we didn't do roll. We have to do that first. So if you're present, I see.
Hey, how you guys doing? Let's talk about privacy as it relates to 3D tours.
Okay.
So this is something that is increasingly coming up in the news. We have an article that we're going to share and discuss with you guys.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is just discuss this topic in general with you so we all kind of work through this together, right? It's one of those things that comes up because we talk about photos and privacy as it relates to the homeowners. But there's a lot that goes along with that, right? Because now all of a sudden we're having problems with appraisers and seeing the things, but then yet it's for if anyone's going to, vandalize a home or break in or something, we don't want to show these things. But then it's how do we carefully balance what's going on and have a need for this and a need for that.
So I think we'll probably be making some changes to some of those things in the future.
Yeah, so let's take a look at 3D tours. I have a link in particular, and we're going to share that with you guys. So you see it, we'll end up chatting that in the description. But we're going to show too much information and how sellers are possibly at risk with their privacy during the 3D marketing era. So imagine that you had somebody who was maybe stalking somebody else or whom was going through something where, maybe they had really expensive stuff and somebody was potentially going to, to break into that. What we want to do is we need to balance marketing the property and showing off everything that's in there, and long term what's going on with this, because the seller understands I need to show my home right during this time frame, but then afterwards what happens a month later, 2 months later, a year, 5 years later with each of those different items. So we're going to kind of scroll through this and let you guys see some stuff that goes along with this. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I'll tell you something I've thought about for a few years now is how we can remove the address And
Yep.
so when we list properties, and it's not been well received, but recently it's come up in, some NAR discussions about, and I think California, especially with having so many high-profile
Yeah.
individuals listing, the need to maybe not publicly market the actual address. So, we know Airbnb, when you book something, it gives you a vicinity that it's located in, but they don't share the address until you are booked and ready to go, right? And
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
made
that's
public. It's
I
only-
think that's a great way that they do
I
it.
agree.
I think
I'm
maybe
gonna
an
keep
agent
fighting
should
for
see
that.
it. I think
Yeah.
you should keep fighting a good fight on that one. Because if we really look at this, there's a lot of challenges with this, right?
It really is.
And people have had all different types of problems. And whether it's been people taking expensive things or, kind of breaking in or what it is, or people stalking or any one of those different things, right?
Yeah.
It's just a real challenge. And so what we want you to do is be able to take a look through this article in particular and see some of the things that go with it, right? So we're going to go back and we'll just discuss it even more, just you and I here, and see what we kind of come up with.
So
Okay.
kind of just talking through this with you, Mike and I haven't even had this discussion, but my thought is, we need to kind of compromise with the appraisers.
Okay, so
And-
talk about the one side. What does the appraiser want?
The appraiser needs to be able to do a true apples to apples comparison, right? And so things that influence the value would be if a home is updated or not. The same thing if you go to dispute your taxes.
Yep.
Same thing. If it's publicly out there, then the county can also look at that information.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe to kind of compromise that, we're removing everything but one photo. Maybe we leave the front, the back, and then the kitchen, and just have, just condense them down to just 3 or 4 photos, so an appraiser can make an assumption based on that information if something was updated or not. Typically, people don't just massively update one room, like a kitchen, and then leave everything else, but sometimes they do, or they just update a bathroom. So we're going to be talking through that over the next few days and figure out what to do. I do think that removing the Matterport and the 3D tours and those things, yes. Appraisers don't look at that. They're just looking at the photos. So I think that there's a compromise there to be had with, maybe we go back and we do need to leave a few additional photos up just for that purpose, because what we don't want is an appraiser to have to dig and call and wait for somebody to send them a link, and then that comp doesn't get considered because they're on a time crunch. So I think that this is a need that we need to consider and
Yeah, so chat in now. We're going to have a quick poll for you as we finish out this topic. So the first option is going to be, how much data should we show on a sold listing? And our options are going to be none, like 0 data, like no information whatsoever. 1 photo, the front picture.
Okay.
3 photos is going to be the third choice, and 3 photos can be front, in 1 interior and 1 rear picture
Yeah.
to show that off.
Yeah.
And then everything, you should just show it all, right? And we're just going to take a super quick poll. And what we're going to see here is there's going to be a lot of different varied options. And that's what we would display publicly, with taking said information back down after we close the listing out.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's a lot of difficult choices as it relates to this, and every company makes a different decision. Thanks, Omar, for putting that up so quick. He's awesome, isn't he?
I
And
didn't even know this was coming.
no, he didn't. He just threw that out there after him. But what I see here is what we're working on now with our website is the ability to have different views. And I think that's where that becomes the key part. Because what we have on our website, I just got off the meeting, shout out to Dave and Naz. I was on the meeting with them super early this morning, talking through our website. And the different login profiles that we have. So we download everything on our servers of all the data,
Yeah.
right?
That's a lot.
And we don't dump it afterwards. So we have that as an agency, and then we as brokers and as agents can log in and see the information, regardless of what somebody else takes down once we have it. But displaying it publicly is something different. So we might need to have an appraiser log in where they can get to us. Now, Shana is going to conversely say on the other side, we can't make it difficult on them. Right? But, it's kind of one of those things. Wow, thanks for the results. The instant results from the poll is people like 3 pictures. Okay. So there's a need for privacy, right? There's a need for each of those things. And it's really interesting. Yep, and it helps if you're running comps, if everything's there.
No, you're right, and we have to look at it. We do the same thing as the appraisers when we're trying to get information. So, that's where we kind of realized it's difficult. And I think that all the picks, and maybe we leave the minimum, because we do get a lot of phone calls, and maybe this is something you guys don't know, in the office of people, please take my photos down.
Yep.
That people, they don't want their photos out there. So I think compromising and having a few, and then maybe in our description we change, if you need additional photos, please contact us. We took them down for privacy purposes. And just disclose that and let them know why we did it. But if we have it on our website where appraisers can always log in and do that,
they'll love us.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, I hope you guys like this topic. What we're going to do is...
I'm so happy that you guys engaged, because we want to hear your opinions on all of this too, so we can make a good decision.
Yeah. So we're going to ask that question again. Did you like the topic? Yes or no? We'll put that one up there real quick as we finish this. Oh, yeah, right. Did you like the topic? But thank you guys for joining us. That was really good.
Yeah.
And I think we're ready for the next topic. Go ahead and vote, and we'll get moving on. I'm just going to cover this one.
Okay.
Ain't Yo Mama's Technology. Thanks, Shana, for the topic title. Well, let's go ahead and talk about an agent that called me up yesterday. They sent me a text over, and I really liked the message. Yeah. And it was weird. I liked how it happened, right? And I got it. It was extremely direct. And it said, hey, Mike, do you have 2 to 2.5 minutes for a quick phone call? And I was like, wow.
Somebody knows you well.
Somebody really knows me, right? And I was like, yes, I do, right? She said, I have some pretty good news that I'd like to share with you. And I said, okay, that's great. So I call up, and she took exactly that time. It was really nice, And that's something I should do a better job of, is being quick and concise. So anyways, I call up Jean, and I'm talking with her, who's an agent with us. So shout out to Jean, and thank you for bringing this story up. But what she told me was that she had a client get in contact with her directly from our website. So I want to share the story off and share some success of how these things kind of work, and kind of talk through the whole system. So now we have Jean that calls me up and says, hey, here's what's going on. Client contacts me, and they happen to have went to the website. They liked it. They looked through stuff. They looked through all the different agents' bios and liked that we had something in common. And Jean, in summarizing this, essentially there was one key item that they really liked that drew the person to Jean. And that was her experience that she had with spending time in Singapore. And the person related to it and connected.
Yeah.
And created this bond.
And apparently they went through everyone's, that's why it's so important to have your bios and tell, your story and who you really are.
Mm-hmm. So that was a great story. So they liked what she had to say, and they're like, hey, I need to buy a home for X price. And they discuss it with her, and it's a nice property, right, that they would like to end up needing some assistance with. And they just connected with her regarding who she was, what she was all about, saw pictures, photos, information that is publicly shared there. And with her bio, they related. Yeah. They had a good talk, and they're like, hey, I would like to use you as my agent.
And as we're having more of a global reach,
yes,
you can see where that came into play and was important to that person. I felt comfortable.
Right? And it's, the internet's a great place, and sometimes a scary place, like we just talked about in our last topic, right? With what could be some different negatives. But what we have here on the positive side is consistent and good traffic coming in.
Yeah.
People connecting with you. So make sure that you're updating your page with Acquisto Real Estate. We put a lot of time, energy, and efforts in to make that first class within the industry. I would say, and I'll challenge you, please go look at any other company's individual agent page for any one agent, right? Whatever it is. Totally challenge nationwide. Go look at Keller Williams, Century 21, Abbey Holiday. Go look anywhere you want, okay? And look at their average agent page and what they provide to an agent so that the agent can log in and they can share the link from that corporate page for what it represents for that individual agent. And then go to our page and see what you have for yourself, okay? And what we're trying to do is really show off whom you are and give you opportunities to do that. It's totally scalable. You keep putting in more information all the time. You should be putting more stuff in.
Yes.
And with that, I think you are going to see that we actually have the best individual agent page, period.
Also, we have the best agents.
Yeah, well, that does help. It gives
do.
us an opportunity.
Now, here's something that, I hear it because, I'm involved in what's going on, but it's kind of the out of sight, out of mind. Like a lot of us would not, from our side of the business, not really know and see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's a factor of what is going on behind the scenes. There's many meetings with our technology team that they work so hard and, to get this to happen this way.
Yep.
So it's your SEO and all of these things that are in every day being worked on for us that, then you see a result like that. So, you're going to be exposed. So what's exposed of you, you need to make sure that it's what you want and what truly gives a feel of who you are. Because there's always, people want to connect and they want to go where they're comfortable. So I think that, I'm very excited about that. I think it's great. I'm seeing the results. It takes a long time to get to that, right?
It does.
A long time. The technology is, it's our future. And we have an amazing technology team, and I would challenge other companies with, the strength of ours versus very large-scale companies, because I think it's amazing.
It's kind of like an iceberg is what we're looking at here. So, unfortunately, what you currently see is the tip of the iceberg of what's going on. And underneath that, there's so much going on with how many people are there, whether it's our amazing support family, right? And I can't speak glowingly enough about what Stacy does, about what Megan does, about what Anna helps us out with, about Logan and his media days, about how you help
So
the
we
agents.
don't have to do that.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
But then the technology on the backside of who's really helping us and what's going on. I was having all these meetings super early this morning, so I started at 6:30 a.m. with a meeting here and with our technology and kind of going over that and how much is going on behind the scenes below the surface that is not necessarily visible to you, and how close each of these things are, and how much business is going to be generated with it, and what we really need are every one of the agents to be a personality, a real person.
Yes.
Because people connect with pictures of the home, right? And they're like, I want that home because. So we need to have a great search experience. It needs to be accessible. It needs to be all that,
Yes.
right? So that's one thing. But then they need to connect with an agent, right? Or a lender, or understand what these things are. And that's where it's the important thing that you become kind of like a personality in your brand. That's why we've
Because
been
you all
working on
have
this so
unique,
long.
Personalities that are strong and great. And you all possess something that is just, amazing.
And that's
Every
what you
single one of
can't do in real estate is you can't replace the agent. The agent is centric
The human
to what's going on in the transaction. We can show, display, you can have words like Zillow and Realtor.com and all of that. and it's a picture.
But-
But the picture is of the home. And home's a super strong word, but agent.
But
That's
now
an
more
even
than
stronger
ever,
word.
in this
Yes.
era of everything being automated, it's important for us to do that. But I feel like a lot of people are just keeping up with technology instead of being like ahead of technology a little bit. That's
Well,
the
we're
trend.
trying to stay there, right? And so I'm excited about where
Good
our
job.
future lies.
Thank
I'm
you.
super excited for you as an agent. Please keep those pages updated. Send more stuff over to Anna. She's Anna@AcquistoRealEstate.com. If you need some help, get to Megan@AcquistoRealEstate.com. Go to Design Pickle, request more stuff. We have so many resources. If you use them, you will be better. If you don't, then, hey, how you say that's on you, right? So it is what it is. We're going to ask how you guys like this topic as well. And then we're going to go to that's a wrap. Wrap this up. Well, that's a wrap. 2 topics for us today.
Yep.
And a quick reminder that what's up next, Shauna?
Show me your listings.
Yes.
Get on there and let's see what's coming up and let's collaborate, talk about them, see what we can do.
So we're very excited to do that, and we hope you guys are having more fun interacting on what we're doing. We want more interaction, and I hope you realize how important you guys are to us.
Yeah.
Every single day, you guys wake up, and that's a good thing.
And you're
That's
on
a great
here.
place to
And
start.
you care. You're investing in yourself and your business. And,
And we're investing in you. We really, truly care. And each of these things really do matter long term for your success. So we're investing in the present and in the short term, the long term, and like the way distant future for you to be able to put these things all together.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you
Awesome.
guys.
Okay.
Awesome. People are liking these topics.
They do.
So we're done here. Go over to Show Me Your
See you in a
Listings.
minute.
So you can go to
We got some exciting stuff to talk about.
ZoomMeetingWithShauna.com. ZoomMeetingWithShauna.com. Go. Look quick, a couple pictures. Ready? Here we come. Ready. Okay. Coffee cup. Okay.
I good?
Yeah, that's good. And we have another one. Ain't Your Mama's Technology. Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir. ZoomMeetingWithShauna.com.